Good evening, everybody. Hang on, where am I? I am. Give me a sec to load up the Monster Hunter, and away we go. You're quite excited for today, aren't you, SMG 17? Anywho, I'm gonna play some more Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, cause I haven't in a while. I don't know. Fair enough, sometimes you just have those. Oh, you got some takeout. Fair enough. But, yeah, sometimes you do have days where you just have, like, a crap ton of energy. Honestly, I don't really get that all too often myself. I tend to be a more low energy, I guess? I suppose it really depends if I'm like excited about something, because there can be some instances where, well, I can be rather excited about something. Like if there's a game that's coming out that I'm excited for, or something of that nature, I get excited about stuff. Oh no, still haven't done the high rank urgent, post update urgents. I will fucking get to those one day, but priority is now in the last couple of key quests here and taking on Malzeno. Targets are Gormagala, which I want to fight, because honestly I really like fighting Gormagala, just generally. Let me turn the game down a smidge. Yeah. Gormagala got Tigrex, which is a big fuck back, because I don't like fighting Tigrex the best of days. Though, honestly, he's not as bad in... I don't find him as bad in Rise as I do in World. Well, that's probably just because you're more mobile in this game. Pyrorachnicodaki. Yeah, Rachnicodaki subspecies that does some really cool shit with, well, its version of arachnoids, and then a dual hunt against a Gangolm and a Lunagron. Okay. Well, since I want to take on the Gormagala first, if I can get like a multiplayer,
Playtime's over.
I want to grab some fire weapons. Oh yeah, speaking of like weaponry and shit, I literally only have 2 left in the wish list. But honestly, I don't particularly care about getting them, because I just literally want to get to Malzeno. We've been on 4-star stuff a bit, and VM 4-star stuff for a bit too long in my opinion. And Plus, getting to the next rank and stuff. We'll be able to start fighting Elder Dragons. And we'll actually be able to upgrade a lot of those weapons. I don't know how many of the upgrades will involve jewels though, if I'm honest. I can't remember off the top of my head. Okay, it's gonna be one of those days, isn't it? Where I'm going to have trouble jumping into multiplayer instances. And some of these are fights I'm not confident in doing by myself in the slightest. Like, honestly, up to the end of the 4-star stuff, yeah, I could solo some of it, but for that stuff, yeah, not in your life. Button. Okay, huh? Well, what did I call it? Bloody typical. Honestly, this is why I'm thankful that Wilds is going to be cross-platform. Like, oh, I mean it has cross-play. I think buggery. Oh, and of course the Timeouts one, is one that pops. And I'll just switch over to my, Aslos SNS. Yeah, you actually get to see me, like, I've gone on quite a bit about how I'm actually pretty good with the sword and shield. Now you actually get to see me use a sword and shield. It might be an idea to change to the appropriate one. Okay. So it's in area 4 right now. There's an engine enough in area 1, so gotta be a bit run the fuck away kind of deal. Or you can just run up here. This is one thing I do like about Rise's maps.
Sweet.
There are still areas you can go to sort of run away from a monster if you need to. Oh shit, it does. Green's fair too. Oh, that was for that. That was for doodles. Oh, as long as you can both outside stuff. Yep, that's definitely Raptors. I got mistaken for the pink Rathian longsword, because pink Rathian isn't in this game. So it could be gold Rathian. I know, like, Razin is one of, I think it was part of the first of Sunbreak's poster title updates. Yeah. Well, at least I ain't one shot me, so hoo-hoo-hoo. Okay. Oh, it's paralyzed anyway. Was it in a trap? Probably in a trap, because none of their weapons can actually paralyze. There's the tail break. Yeah, you can break the tail of T-Rex. Oh yeah, T-Rex Raw. It can knock you on your butt, so yeah. These ain't brute T-Rex where it will weaponize that shit. Like, only monster I'm aware of that actually does something like that. But T-Rex gets enraged so often, it's weird, like, not seeing the damn thing enraged, if I'm honest. I've missed this. And hey, my capture card's actually behaving itself once.
Perks of the job.
That's a bonus.
Must remain sharp.
Yeah, I think if that person is using Gold Rathian longsword, it makes sense. It's hard to tell the colour of longswords because of how the spirit level is indicated. As the, like, the entire longsword glows the colour of the spirit level, it's found here. Either white, yellow or red. Shit, that was fairly
I shall put this to
painful. Well, no, I meant the opposite of that. Like, that was fairly painless. Yeah, that's definitely the Gold Rathian longsword.
All right. Let's see what we have.
Weird. I didn't see it get poisoned. Oh, they must be using, insert spoiler here, armor.
Whetstone time.
Sorry, but duty calls.
Honestly, those sort of... Oh, how the fuck does the skill from that work? Doesn't it work on, like, your switch skill scroll?
That's all there is to it.
I know there's one that works off of that. Like, well, there are skills that work off of that, but there's one that makes it so, like, you sort of... Brain health or something for power when you got one on, and you get it back if you switch or something like that. Switch to the blue one. Again, I can't remember off the top of my noggin. That's one now.
Sweet, a gem. Time to go.
And on to the next one. You know what? See if we can grab one with against the pyrorachnic back. Now this now this is my only issue with the help request system over the SOS flare system in World. Like, yeah, you can choose any quest you want to do, but it's a toss-up if people are actually doing it. Like, if you're playing Rise on PC, yeah, there's gonna be no shortage of people. Like, straight up, but if you're like us on Switch, then yeah, you're gonna have trouble with it. That's why I think it's actually a really good change that they made it so they're gonna make it so Worlds has crossplay from the get-go. Hell, even if it like took a while for, if it would have taken a while for Wilds to get crossplay, that still is going to help with the longevity of a game. But to have it out the gate when it releases in February, I think, I've honestly kind of forgot the actual release date of Wilds, because I just have the 20th of March burnt in my fucking memory now, because all the fact that Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition comes out that day. Yeah, that one's not so much gonna be a, like, one I get for streams. That's more one I get cause I fucking love that game to bits and I want to play it again. So it is also one I wouldn't mind streaming. Cause like the exploration that game has on that sort of thing. I can imagine that would make for a nice chill streamers too. Or 20. Seriously, like even a casual playthrough of Xenoblade X is a long fucking playthrough. It may be structured like way differently than your average Xenoblade Chronicles game. It's still a Xenoblade Chronicles game.
Room for one more? Thanks for coming.
That's the best way to describe it. Okay. I forgot to grab anything from the thing box, didn't I? Fuck. Well. Don't stay. Oof. Area 7. This is a rough one to fight in. Yeah. Okay, now the question is, have they already broken the feeler? Because, like, no matter what game you fight Gore in, getting that feeler is is a pain in the ass. Some people say, tails are a pain in the ass. Nope. always a feeler with this guy. Because of how the feeler fucking works. Right. So it has, it's one of those monsters that has an enraged state, but also another like powered up state, where it unleashes the full might of a frenzy virus on you. And its feelers come out from the top of its head. And they're essentially its spawn break. Except they only come out when... I can't see shit. Yeah, they only come out when it's in that heightened state. And they're a bit of a bugger to... Wait, anywho, frenzy virus. So, it'll build up over time, and if it gets to full, you're gonna take more damage from anything that afflicts frenzy, the frenzy virus. Oop, what happened there? Yeah, like that. They haven't broken the feelers yet. Okay. It gets way more aggressive too, but that's par from the course when it comes to these powered up states. Anywho, back to frenzy. If you attack something enough, you can actually make the frenzy go away, temporarily make yourself immune to it, and on top of that, you get a temporary affinity buff. Yeah. There's also another way to
This should do.
lower your frenzy bar. I'm just gonna call it. Good old no breeze. Yeah, they get rid of a chunk of it for you. Ooh. That looks like that's gonna be fun to walk into. A Ceregios and a Rathlos. Just make the Rathlos an Azra. And my bloody charger stop. I see an opportunity here.
Let me take control.
Fuck.
Piece of cake.
Eh.
See ya.
Alright. Okay, what's my charger doing? Laptop charger doing that? Oh, it's been a bit weird right now. Honestly, I kinda need to think about potentially getting a new laptop charger. No feelers. But then again, I'm not actually aiming for Gormagala weapons here. Like, because don't get me wrong, Gormagala weapons, they're gorgeous and they're pretty good. I do like the ones that have higher affinity in that. Alright, I forgot about the cutscenes in this.
Princess Chiche, I hadn't noticed your presence. My apologies.
Please don't. Here, I'm merely a quest receptionist. Isn't that right?
You know, I don't think there have been many times
Lady
in
Fury,
Monster Hunter
she's
where we've
okay.
actually met
Medicine.
royalty.
It's working.
Well, there's another thing to note. Like,
Urine.
despite the fact that, like, we see so many damn monsters just in one game, in the
I'm
Monster Hunter
sorry.
universe,
I couldn't be
the
here when
average
the kingdom
person
needed me.
Urine.
won't even see one.
So glad
large monster in their lifetime.
Okay.
Because apparently, like, the average populace in the old world live in, like, massive cities and that, just, like, far removed from the sort of areas your hunter will be in.
Ending. It's only just begun.
Like, this is just
I
from
know,
what
I
I'm
know.
remembering about lore and that.
Lighten up a little.
I think it's
Alright,
also
everyone.
a case of, like, some people actually think of hunters as, like,
Time for the counterattack.
barbaric and that sort of thing.
Up.
Huh.
Anywho,
Yes.
right, we're going to like the Malzeno.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You know, I find it interesting that, like, well, in Rise we get the title The Fierce,
Yep.
and in World we kind of get given the title the Sapphire Star of the Fifth Fleet. So it makes me wonder if, like, for Monster Hunter games going forward, as a sort of lore thing to show that everyone respects our hunter,
Until next
like,
time.
after we beat the base version of any Monster Hunter game, would get, like,
Your spirit shines
a
bright.
title.
Uh-huh.
So it makes you wonder, what would our title be in Wilds? Like,
There's a special quest for you. I hope
No.
we can talk again soon.
can't help but think about that.
Hello. For honor and
Ah, he
glory.
wants to go on Regala, yada yada. We're not here for that. We're here for... And now my capture card decides to play silly buggers. Honestly, I really need to get a new one of those. At some point.
Back to work.
Then again, I'm not sure, like, the being split that sort of happens in the gameplay sometimes is that, or, like, something else. But I think it's mainly my capture card, because I have to remember, it's only particularly expensive graphics card, like, sort of nothing particularly crazy. But it's not a bad graphics card by any capture card. I mean, it's not a bad capture card by any stretch of the imagination. It's probably not too great. I know.
What
It
happened?
certainly ain't an Elgato. I realise the irony of that statement considering I'm playing what's Hunter Rise Sunbreak at the moment. Okay. We could go the normal way, or we could be awkward and just scale over and just mount and go over everything. Naturally, I'm going to mount and go over everything. 2 switch axes and a charge blade. Now that's a rare sight. Like, not a single longsword in sight. And yeah, like charge blades you don't see massively on. Same with switch axes. Let alone 2 switch axes. Let alone 2 of them. Yeah, they took the fire beetle. Okay. So, this is Big Boy Malzeno, and I think he's already in his fully powered up state. Yeah, you're gonna start noticing your feet. Oh yeah! So, Curio is Malzeno's main mechanic. It gets in its fully, like, amped up state.
Great.
It becomes more aggressive, and it gains the ability to fucking teleport. I am not kidding. See? Just to prove me right there. It just can teleport.
This ends here. We
Like,
must bring peace back to
oh yeah,
Flora and the
it
kingdom.
inflicts a status effect. Blood Blight. Your healing is now halved. However, you can actually sort of use the vampiric nature of Blood Blight to your advantage. Also, that move that just killed me is Malzeno Supernova. I just haven't fought Malzeno in like fucking ages, so I forgot that move even existed. Righty, we got a mud beetle and a blast toe to bugger about with. Let's see what we can do. Oh yeah, this is another one of those ones where Furain will join even in multiplayer versions of a hunt. Oh, even if you're doing this urgent in multiplayer. Right out of the sky. Over fucking tail. Excuse me 2 secs. My inner loot goblin is calling to me. And I did kind of die before it moved areas, so I'm just fine going backtracking for it.
Please handle things here, okay?
I will not be denied tail. There it is.
You won't be needing this.
Oh no wait, we didn't grab the fight. I'm complaining? I'm going the wrong fucking direction again, aren't I? Okay. Right. Now to get back on track. Oh yeah, Furain hijacked a Lunagron. Yeah, this is another one of those urgents where there'll be only one of a particular monster there. Oh shit, it's already knows, we did load into a hunt that, like, was fairly far in. Oh, mate, how did you get this far without realizing that traps have no effect on Elder Dragons? And it's in powered up state. Okay, when it's in powered up state, to get out powered up state, hit the parts that have curio on it. Basically, head, forearms, crest, tail. If I'll call this thing is maybe weakest to dragon. Yeah, sure, that's Malzeno dead.
Farewell, Malzeno. Your reign of terror is over.
Nothing personal.
Alrighty.
Let's go! Hi! Let's see what we have here.
Whetstone
Well, that was
time.
easy.
That's a fine whetstone you've got there.
Getting dull.
You should
Yeah.
be proud of your polishing skills.
Need to sharpen this thing.
Malzeno isn't the hardest flagship I've gone up against, if I'm honest. I would definitely have to say that on a goes to something like Nergigante. Like, that thing can bitch slap you from the new world back to the old world and back to the new world again. And the less said about Ruiner Nergigante, the better. Alright, there was a Felicipro activated. Yeah, you can get Conqueror Steals from Master Rank Elder Dragons. Oh shit, Blue Corp from Alico Bullshittery. Nice. Yeah, that was fairly quick and easy. My child just really trying to play silly buggers today, ain't it?
Outstanding work. Are you all right? They've lost their host. And now they flee. Or do they?
Ooh, mystery and shit. Mate, you shouldn't be surprised there were a ton of curio stuck to that thing, so... Gotta like the win.
Let's go. They're waiting for us.
And let's go before Black Doom makes fix about Radical Highway again. The sky was kinda red. I wanted to make as many of those kind of jokes as possible because that shit was ridiculous.
It appears the celebration has already begun.
Yeah, this isn't the end of the story. If you know how Monster Hunter stories tend to go, it's usually a case of we fight the flagship, and it's a case of we go, oh wait, that wasn't fucking causing it, was it? Bollocks. And then usually something bigger shows up. And I kinda can't wait to show you Salutation Stranger. Hopes that hunts are being fruitful. Thank you, Lennon. Like, yeah, it has been quite fruitful.
Yep.
Like, not even halfway into the stream, and we've already took down the Malzeno urgent.
I see.
Who creates monsters out with infected bacterial virus?
Well,
Da-da-da.
yes.
Yeah, that's the thing about like invasive species or viruses and that sort of thing. Like, deal with the source, but then you have to worry about the rest of it. Like, the other bits and bobs that sprang out as a result of it. Ooh, new ship. Something, where's my Dragonator? To be fair, it probably will be equipped with a Dragonator. I have beaten Sunbreak before, so I know exactly what it is. And it's actually some of the coolest shit, like, to come out of a Monster Hunter game. I was like, oh, we're friends behind us. Why be able to build ship? Oh, da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah. Huh.
Ooh, suspicious. How's it?
The kingdom appreciates your efforts.
So now we can take Admiral Gallius with us
So long.
to do a follower quest. And he ain't the only one. And for this, quick head back to Krua. Yeah, you can take Fugan out to do follower hunts as well. Well, you need to do the obvious, well, initial one, and then you can take them out on any master rank quest. It used to be that, like, only quest in the follower tab. It used to be only the one in follower tab you could bring followers to, because that was the whole point of them. But at some point they changed it so that any master rank mission you can do that with. Gnostic Snuff Cap. This one. I know there's one way you can get like the jelly weapon, well, feline buddy weapons from,
I'll be here when you need me.
and obviously want to go for those because those are some of the best feline and palico weapon, well, palico and palamute weapons in the game.
Yeah. A special quest
Oh, yeah.
has been added.
New quest list. No Elder Dragons right off the bats, but you do got some toughies to do. The two elemental wolves against each other. I find that kind of funny, because if you're looking purely on the statistical side, out of the Lunagaron and the Zinogre, technically the Lunagaron would actually win this,
Studied for
because
months on end.
Zinogre is weak to ice.
But I still make plenty of
And in
mistakes.
that fight,
If you have any advice
well,
for me-
lore-wise, Gorbagala would actually win, cause how the frenzy works. Basically, with monsters, what it actually ends up doing is making them go ballistic, and then they die. Like, I'm not kidding, they just go berserk and then they die. With one sort of exception, if they're able to overcome the frenzy virus, they can use it as their own. They become an apex. Of course, certain monsters that was previously exclusive to rampages are also referred to as apex variants, but for the sake of this sort of analogy, let's just call those rampage apexes and the apexes I'm talking about frenzied apexes. Yeah, and in the story of 4 Ultimate, which Ceregios is the flagship of, guess what? At the end of a high-ranked village quest, you have to take down. Yeah, a frenzy apex Ceregios. That fight was no joke. And again, neither of these fights are any joke. Like, Basil Geese hits like a fucking truck, and so does Rujang.
Back to work.
Actually, how do I go about Rujang? Well, that wouldn't be any good. I'm thinking Hammer's probably a good bet. Booster, Defender, and Thunderez. Those would definitely recommend Thunderez when dealing with Basil. Rujang. Anywho, we have access to Malzeno weapons. Yeah, these are probably going to be your... And yeah, we can now get the upgrades for some other weaponry. Not all of them, like... But a fair few of them? But
I have been wanting to be
a fair few of them also need,
Guess you could say I'm something of an expert at this point.
duels.
Don't worry about your
So,
grip this here hammer with confidence.
yeah, that's going to be fun to have to deal with.
Let's get you fixed up then, shall we?
Well, Mizu, I have a couple. What about Longs?
To get started.
Oh, that's a beautiful looking longsword. Hello there, Uni Info. How is you today? No real upgrades we can... There.
Let's get you fixed up then, shall we?
Oh, you know what weapon is actually really pretty with Malzeno tree? The greatsword. Like, I don't know, it's just really pretty. I think I actually did pixel art of it somewhere. But yeah, it is a really pretty weapon. And again, all the Malzeno weapons are actually really pretty. Like, that's a sexy sword and shield. Oh, right there. actually.
started.
Ooh. Axe. Still really doesn't beat. This is one of those times where I feel like the design of the Magala slash Go Magala, which axe looks better than the Malzeno. Not good.
I'll put everything Master Hammond taught me to good use.
And well, I generally
can sling whatever you
do, so I
need.
decided to chill on YouTube for a bit.
Bye now.
I don't know how to tell you about this, but here's what I want to fight next. Appropriate that the quest is called Settle the Score, huh? Hopefully I can get my player instance. Hopefully I don't die in about 2 seconds. Oh, yeah. No way, man. Yes, way. Don't worry, I'll get revenge on the fucker for you. Like, at least it ain't like Iceborne Rajang. That thing just can fuck you up 8 ways from Sunday. Okay. Oh, 3,000 quest. No cards. That's always a good sign. Fuck it, let's just take the shortcut.
That was fast.
Right, so reason why I'm using my hammer for this one is cause those the charge attacks don't bounce. Like, not to my knowledge. So they work pretty well for games, something different than an Iceborne. Honestly, not really, but I think it's more a case of you're just a lot more faster in, like, I think it's more a case of it feels easier because you're a lot quicker in Rise than you are in World. Plus, you can do shit like this and just completely bully the poor bastard. So, I don't know. My personal experience, he feels like he's a bit harder in World. Except if you're using a spread-heavy bowgun build, then in that case, that just counts as fucking everything. Yeah, it seems like my theory's true, like, Hammer's charge attacks can actually still hit the arms when they're like in that state. Wondering what you actually find with Jang in anyway. Was it Iceborne or was it Rise? Like I said, I definitely feel like it was harder in Iceborne. Dude, are you sure this is for Zhang? Yep. Yeah, I'm guessing you're picking up on some differences on it in that case. Yeah, you've definitely thought you would definitely find the Iceborne one, because just one fact that you're surprised, like, here, do what my arse earlier never stopped attacking. Oh yeah, it was hell aggressive. Like, it can be in this game. Again, I do don't. Maybe it just isn't as aggressive as it is in Iceborne. Maybe they saw how aggressive they made it, and then sort of toned it down a bit. Like, there are monsters in this game that I think are harder than they were in Iceborne. This is where this one punch is slower. What, in Rise or Iceborne? Let's use this when it's like that. Yeah, I don't get what you're saying here, like, this one Rise is slow. Ah! Yeah, then I must have toned it down in Rise then. Like I said, I do have trouble telling the difference sometimes, because A, I'm way more used to Rise than I am with World, because I just play it more. And 2, in World I just fought it using spread heavy bow gun. And not much could touch you whilst using a proper setup for that. Especially, well, mainly if you're using shield on your heavy bow gun. You literally brought down everything in a frontal cone in front of you. Yes, sometimes it does move a fair bit. Stay still and let me clunk you on the noggin. I suppose another thing is, like, with Iceborne, isn't it a case of you have to knock Rajang out of that, like... How you losing looks like it's from Valstrax from Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. No, it's actually the Lunagaron one. But I can see where you're coming from there. Why am I going this way? It's gone downwards. But yeah.
Gotta stay sharp.
Do have Crimson Glow Valstrax in this game. But, good luck fucking fighting that thing at Master Rank. But no, it's the Lunagaron one. One of the, Sunbreak monsters. One of the three lords, actually. Along with Garmgon and Malzeno, which we fought earlier. Ow. Oh yeah, how do I put it? When it comes to video games, So, do you prefer World or Rise? honestly, right. Like, whilst I do think World has a lot better presentation and that sort of thing, there are a lot of small things that I prefer in Rise. One, how non-intrusive the cutscenes in this game are. Like, two, the drop-in multiplayer system is better in this game than it was in World. People say Rise multiplayer is dead. Isn't, I guess? Like, it can be sometimes hard to load in or do drop in on a quest. But that's either because they're like particularly low level stuff or stuff for monsters no one really farms. Or it's just wrong time of day. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's dead. Like, for one thing, I'm playing this on Switch, so I have a much smaller pool to really, well, a lower chance of getting people offload into thing quests. Why am I going this way? So but honestly, I legit don't think World is gonna have that issue. Hell, like, I do feel like if Worlds doesn't fall into some of the same pitfalls that really annoyed me about World, like making it so you're not spending like 20 minutes just trying to find the fucking monster. Like, anyone that thought that's hunted Rathlos on the ancient forest will know exactly what I'm getting at. I do think that ow. Oh, yes, alright, that quest took me a lot of time. Oh yeah, like, that's when you really start to notice some of World's flaws? Like, you can definitely tell with World they were definitely trying to experiment more with it. Like how they had seasonal events and that sort of thing to try and make it more live servicey. However, Monster Hunter has never really been a live service game. Like, was a fine right down or something. Actually, yeah, I think I did that too. Like, because I did stream a bit of World before I dropped it in favour of Rise. And I do remember doing that. Because I do weirdly find World Rathlos a bit easier than Rise Rathlos. I know. Probably because it's not quite as aerial as Rise Rathlos. Now, one monster I will definitely say I find I will say one monster I definitely found a lot easier in World when I do Rise. Teostra. I'm not kidding, like, I definitely find Teostra a bit more hard to handle in Rise. Because, in Iceborne, I actually used to be able to solo the damn thing. Well, with my Palico, of course. Actually, where the fuck am I going?
Be right.
Fuck it, when in doubt, walk point. But yeah. Well, I just found Teostra a lot easier to deal with. Granted, in World I did give myself a setup to specifically to counter Teostra. Okay, the question is, do they want to capture it or kill it? Because if I want to kill it, I'm the fuck up. Whoa! They're waiting on me, so... Kaboom! Yeah, I've been playing Monster Hunter for like over a decade now, and I still can't fucking do sleep bombing properly. And again, I don't have as many opportunities to do sleep bombing. Mostly because, well, people have an obsession with traps. Like, straight up, people just have an obsession with traps.
See you soon.
Like... Jeez. Why, thank you.
Another
Yeah.
great hunt.
Let's see. Now I'm really trying to think of what other monsters do I find easier than in World, and what other ones I find harder than in World. Like, I think one that hurt me to try my luck with Iceborne Giant, but I know how that's going to end. Oh, good luck with that one. And remember, I did do that fight with a spread heavy bowgun setup. If that helps any. I think I used the Zinogre heavy bowgun, because well, Iceborne Zinogre heavy bowgun is actually pretty damn strong. Like, spread 3 on it. And that's back where spread ammo was broken.
I'll be seeing you.
Not as much now, cause well, not as much in Rise, cause they nerfed the critical distance. Can you fight Valstrax? No, not at the moment. Like, I don't have the urgent for either of those. Either the high rank or master rank version. Because, like, for the high rank one, you need to get to MR 100, whilst also doing, like, all the post Rise MR urgents, which obviously I haven't done. I'm definitely sticking that on the list for, like, next time, potentially.
Playtime's over.
And Master Rank Valstrax, or Crimson Globe Valstrax, I should say, you need to be MR 100, and obviously clear the main story. Basil meats. Annoying bugger tends to be airborne. Oh, yep. Does flyers have Gormagala? Yes, I was actually fighting that one earlier in the stream. Yeah. Yeah, Rise does have Gormagala. That actually also has Shigaru Magala too. Like, proof that Gore's in the game? Hey, what is the... Yeah, right there. Gormagala's in the game. And, like, Shigaru Magala's also in it. Like, I can't remember if that's actually an urgent or not, the Shigaru Magala quest. But also, one of Sunbreak's post-title updates added chaotic Gormagala as well.
Guess you could say I'm something of an expert at
I'm
this
gonna
point.
go with
Don't
why
worry
is it
about
called
the
Monsters Run World?
your hammer with
I
confidence.
1000% agree. Like, seriously. For one thing, I'm a bit of a sucker for, like, Japanese culture. And especially their folklore and that. Though to have a game whose monsters are based off of Japanese yokai and shit, it's right up my alley. And Sunbreak's one, like, the Three Lords are based off of more Western monster tropes. Like, Gamgulm is based off of Frankenstein's monster, I think. It kind of also just reminds me very much of golems in general, but I suppose you can kind of count Frankenstein's monster as a golem, cause like it's just made of body parts rather than clay or rock. Just try Monster Hunter Frontiers, you'll like it with a lot of Japanese-based monsters. Oh no, I'm not ballsy enough for that one. Like, yeah, I'm not ballsy enough for Frontiers, cause, Frontier Z, cause I've seen some of the shit that those Zenith, monsters can deal with, or can throw at ya. Actually, speaking of, Frontiers, Espinass is in this game. Yeah, like, one thing people don't realize about Sunbreak is that it literally brought over Frontier's flagship. And it is a... Yeah, I can imagine for your average person who sticks to console stuff, your average casual Monster Hunter player, fighting Espinass is probably going to be quite a shock. Mainly because you're dealing with fire, poison and paralysis in the same package. Like, there aren't that many monsters that have more than one status ailment. At least it's not Viper Toby Kadachi, that thing can go die in a hole. Like, I do not like that thing. I never did like that thing. I never will like that thing. Ugh. then again, I don't think... Actually, with, like... Hello there, Jin Ninja. Yeah. Honestly, I don't think Icebreak had very particularly strong subspecies. Like, well, it did and it didn't. Some of them were cool, some of them weren't. Like, Hello Puke Puke. Nice, Frontier Z has a lot monsters like fit in normal Monster Hunter games, but percent of crap terms of games in Devil May Cry. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I took inspiration from Devil May Cry for them. I mean, Capcom do make both. Like, they do make both Monster Hunter and Devil May Cry. Oh yeah, another of Iceborne subspecies I really liked. Ebony Oderagon. Like, I know I really liked that one. Like, it wasn't the craziest fight out there, but it was still a pretty fun fight. And the weapons didn't look half bad either. Does Rise have Fatalis? Unfortunately it doesn't. No, it don't have Fatalis, unfortunately. I would say Rise and Sunbreak probably don't have as many Elder Dragons as Iceborne, I would say. It's got like it's got Chameleos, Kashaldioa and Teostra. Sunbreak's flagship, Malzeno, which we fought earlier, that's an Elder Dragon. And has some really cool fucking looking weapons. 3 hard horns for the hammer. God damn.
Bye now.
Yeah. They don't have Fatalis, but I don't know. Like, Monster Hunter World Stories are about Elder Dragons, so that makes sense. Yeah. Well, I've seen footage of, like, all of them Fatalis, cause I kind of fell off World when, like, sometime before Alatreon, actually. I did fight, Furious, but that Charles Father fight was boring as hell. Yeah, I will admit it wasn't the greatest final boss of a Monster Hunter game. Luckily, Sunbreak has actually probably one of my favourite final bosses in the game. Like, period. I do think Sunbreak's final boss is pretty damn good. Like, I wouldn't put it at, like, Xeno'jiiva tier or something like that. But it was still a pretty good fight. Where's that out? There's the out. There's the bagel.
There you are.
Right, I'm gonna jump the fucker. Bit on it. I am an utter child.
Let me take control.
forget you can just launch it into the trees. And it's done too. Okay. Once again, let's play a game of can Cyber guess what the other person, what weapon the other person's using? Yes, I can. They're using the Astalos Greatsword. Oh, and there's the ability to kick monsters after you slay them. Oh yeah. Yeah, I just don't have a tangible hitbox sometimes. Well, when they die nowadays. Or do they? God, what was it I always used to do? When I slayed a monster? I think it was a case of, like, I used to just, hide inside of it. Because, you know how 3D models are sort of made, like how they're hollow? You could literally do that and see the inside of the model. Ow. We are going to fucking die. Yeah, that's just one of those random little things I did when I was younger. Yeah, I know a bit about game dev stuff, and I know that 3D models are actually hollow inside. They don't model the internal organs unless they absolutely need to, because they don't, well, need to. Because that would just be a waste of resources for something people ain't really gonna see. Ow! That was close. God, I should have grabbed my lance for this. If I can't, remind me to actually grab my lance.
Took you long enough.
He is using the Lunagaron Charge Blade. I think you can sever. Uh-oh. You know, that's not as impressive as I remember it being. Like... honestly... one thing I do appreciate that Rise does is, like, actually give your hunter a bit of a voice.
Thanks, buddy.
I don't know, I just actually really appreciate them doing that. Ow! Bollocks. Well, where's the lance? Where's me lance?
I'm not giving up yet.
Okay. Where was my lance? Actually, I should probably check what this fucker's actually weak to. I have not fought one yet, so that does not help. Red. And now Google it. Nice. Oh, that's not good. I didn't play Monster Hunter game full blind. Ah, there are people who could probably do it. Like, straight up, there are probably people who could actually beat it blind. I mean, if people can beat Dark Souls on a damn dance pad, I think there are people who could probably beat a Monster Hunter game blindfolded. Well, I suppose. Actually, now I think about it, I'm not sure you actually could. I don't think you actually could, because, like, I know there are a lot of visual cues involved. So,
You're my best pal.
like, and the giant ass shield is why I brought out Lance. Yeah, Lance is the sort of weapon you bring out when you just want to survive something. Blah 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 without any sort of thing. And it just info from the game. Oh, honestly, you could with Rise. Like, I generally think you could actually do that with Rise. Just cause, well, bollockry.
Back to training.
But yeah, Rise I feel like is the sort of game you could actually do that with. Cause, well, it literally does give you all the information you need in-game. As long as you're beating a monster once, it'll literally tell you everything you need to know about a monster. Hell, I would have actually just looked it up in the Hunter notes, but apparently I haven't on the save file killed, well, beaten a Basil Geese yet. Like, for example, let's say okay. Like, nope, the blurb text or whatever, but it also gives you, like, it's not like World where it just tells you, oh, this is good, well, this element is good generally. No, in Rise, you have a full table. Like, be a monster once, you're gonna know its weaknesses, how potent certain ailments are. Like, apparently paralysis and sleep are really powerful on against Puke. Like, even how elemental blights work against a monster, cause that's a thing you can do in Rise. You can afflict monsters with elemental blights. Like, this is one for high rank. I don't think I've fought in a master rank Puke yet. It also tells you, like, what parts you can get. how to get them, and that sort of thing. Hell, it even tells you the, like... Well, honestly, that's just a general overview of how, wide raiding attacks sort of work. But, yeah, you could actually quite easily play Rise without needing to consult, outside resources. It's that comprehensive.
Sweet, a chair. Time to go.
I fancy doing one more hunt. Probably won't hunt the basil geese again. That didn't go too well. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna fight another Malzeno. Because I actually do like the fights. Well, remind me to actually switch off my lance once I load into one. Because I don't think Lance has the greatest matchup against it. Like, I don't think this is the sort of monster that you want, well, a defensive weapon to take on. And more evasive weapon is probably a better option. Like, not unless you stack a crap ton of skills to make it so your guard sort of costs like 0 stamina. Something. If it'll let me, that is. And plus, I wouldn't mind farming for the Malzeno weapon, because, they're rather pretty weapons, and they're gonna come in handy. Like, because I think Sunbreak's final boss, shares the same weaknesses as Malzeno, that being, I think Dragon for the main one, and Fire for the secondary one? Yeah. So yeah, having access to Gormagala just before Malzeno is a smart choice, because some people might be like, oh, Gormagala, I remember this thing from 4 Ultimate. Because, fun fact, we never actually got Monster Hunter 4 over here. That was Japan exclusive. We instead just got 4 Ultimate. It's the only time where the main version of a mainline Monster Hunter game wasn't released in the West. Like, this isn't counting the this isn't counting ones like Monster Hunter Portable, or Portable Second, or Portable Third. I mean, like, the sort of main one of a particular Monster Hunter generation. But just suppose they don't really do ultimate versions as standalone things anymore. Instead, they do it as DLC instead. Well, add the new bits via DLC. They did it with Iceborne, they did it with Sunbreak, and they'll probably do it with whatever World's Master Rank expansion gets called. Which, honestly, in this day and age is probably the smartest way to do it. Like, Pokemon hopped onto the DLC train with Sword and Shield, and well, I wouldn't say it turned out well for them, cause Sword and Shield really weren't that great Pokemon games, but it did work pretty well for Scarlet and Violet. Like, on the Pokemon Violet playthrough, I am actually quite looking forward to getting to some of the DLC stuff. So I have 5k. Analyze 5k. Active players. World have 20k. Honestly, I don't really look at active player bases much. This is on PC. Okay, yeah, that's probably a lot different. Like, yeah, I'm playing this on Switch, so I think that number's probably a lot smaller. Because, honestly, like, near enough all the games I stream nowadays are ones I have on Switch. I know. The only one that, like, only ones that won are, like, Destiny 2 or PSO2 NGS, but Destiny 2 I don't really play much nowadays anyway, let alone really stream. And PSO2 NGS. Oh, is that why I see a lot of Japan players in your team? Yeah, but honestly, you have to remember one thing. Monster Hunter is fucking huge over there. Like, there are certain games that are just massive over there. Another one I can think of off the top of my head is like Dragon Quest. That's also huge over there. Can't remember what other ones. No, legit, I can't remember what other ones are like massive over there. Pokemon, yeah, fair enough, but to be honest, Pokemon is big everywhere. Like, even in the UK, like, Pokemon's still, well, somewhat big. Look there. Two T-Rex. Oof, I ain't stupid enough to do that one. I wanted to fight another Malzeno. I love to play MMORPGs and mobile pay-to-win RPGs in general. Oh yeah. Well, you know what country does have some of the better mobile games? Oddly enough, China. Like, some of the Chinese ones are pretty damn good. Like, I can think of one off the top of my head that I'll sing praises about till the cows come home. That being Arknights. And hell, you don't even have to play that on your phone. Like, you can quite comfortably play it on PC nowadays too. And if they're big, they're like 1.5 billion. I mean, is that particularly surprising? It's like one of the biggest countries in the world. Not just in terms of size, but also in economical power too. Yeah. Like, oh, have you ever heard of the company Hoyoverse? The ones behind stuff like Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, and Zenless Zone Zero. They're a Chinese-based company. I used to play Genshin myself, but one behind Genshin Impact? Yep. I actually used to play Genshin myself, but honestly, I found that Tencent. Yeah.
Long time no see, Malzeno. On my honor as a knight, I will end you.
No,
Getting a bit too excited.
Tencent for Epic Games. I think I remember them also buying a different company. I can't remember what company is, but I remember them buying a different one as well. Were they the ones that bought Digital Extremes? I can't remember. I think it might have been. Like, that's why the name kind of sounds familiar to me. Because, I think they were the ones that bought Digital Extremes a couple of years ago. For context, Digital Extremes are the company behind Warframe. Which, ironically, I was actually streaming yesterday. Nudge nudge, wink wink. Yeah. I remember people freaking out a bit about that too. But honestly, I don't like about Genshin is they have too many girl characters. Welcome to literally 90% of gacha games. At least with Arknights, there are a fair amount of male characters too. Hell, there's a one of the more well-known. I know that there's a VTuber who streams a fair bit of Arknights that plays exclusively using male characters in their squad. Because hey there, Zenith. Just doing a second Malzeno hunt. And the fucker just fucked off to a different place. But yeah. The content creator well, the feature I'm talking about is Hiya? He, like I said, mainly streams Arknights. Well, I don't think she mainly streams it, but she streams it more often than not, and she uses a all-male squad. And actually the Arknights community has a term for, like, playing Arknights, using a certain restriction of that. When Genshin was announced, I swear I almost lost my mind when I saw Alucard using his out attack. Don't you mean D-Luke? Like, there isn't a Genshin character called Alucard. Honestly, back when I actually played Genshin, I used to main D-Luke. It was either D-Luke or Kuchu. Like, both were the two that I made. Just cause... Yeah, oh yeah, D-Luke. I always call him Alucard. Yeah. I more see him as, like, anime Batman. Yeah. When I played Genshin, D-Luke was one of the characters I used to main. Cause my brain was stuck as Castlevania at the moment. Oh god. Don't get me started on Castlevania, cause they'll somehow get me back to Vampire Survivors. Cause a while back they actually had, well, one thing, Vampire Survivors kind of parodies Castlevania, and it's well known for doing so. But a month ago? Yeah, a month ago, like, it actually got Castlevania DLC. And yeah. So, and also, the VTuber I mainly watch, like, he just randomly played a couple of the Castlevania games at some point. So, yeah, at the moment, did you watch the Castlevania 2023 anime? No, I haven't actually watched either of the Netflix series. Honestly, because I'm a bit more, like, because I'm a bit more curious about Castlevania at the moment. I might at some point. I don't know. Like, I don't really watch a whole ton of shows anymore. Like, if I'm watching something, it's usually something on YouTube. And as I was saying, Lunagow and Luco have gone through very random means this stream. If I had a penny every time that happened, I would have 2 pennies. Which ain't a lot, but it's weird that happened twice. First time was through Calico pilfering. I can't think of the third key. Okay, going for potato. Okay, in terms of human players here, we have 2 dual blades and heavy bowgun. Heavy bowgun is the Petronadon one. One of the dual blades is the Nagakuga dual blades. I don't know what the other one is, because, yeah, dual blades users don't exactly stand still for more than 2 seconds. I'm now legit trying to see what, like, whatever your Blaze user is using.
I'd be proud to see them.
Oh, those are basic, okay, that's from the Kimura tree, which is your very basic non-elemental tree for this game. That's actually unique to this game, because, rule-wise, Kimura has, like, very strong metalwork, so they have unique, whoa. They have a unique set of weapons. That killed it. Okay.
Farewell, Malzeno. Your reign of terror is over.
Put this to good use. Nothing personal.
What looks like it's infected with a frenzy virus?
Daddy needs a new pair of boots.
Kind of. Hiya are more parasitic, more parasites than
Let's see what we have here.
a virus.
Daddy needs a new pair of boots.
But still, like, did we actually break the horn? Looks like it, so I think we got the horn on that one. Oh.
What is that?
What is the pain in the ass part to actually get off a mountain anyway?
Results to be proud of.
I think it's the wings actually. Like, I think I remember those being a bit of a bugger to break. Luckily, that's why you bring gathering palicos. That's why you bring gathering type palicos to these things, cause they just yoink parts off the monster for you. Like, their level 20 move, Pilfer, is literally the, like, the Pilfer Blade from, the Plunder Blade, I think it's called, from Gadget from World. That's basically what Gavin Palicos really are for the most part.
Hey there!
Oh, I can upgrade one of my Mizu weapons. Yeah. Nice. I forget with Smidge Handicraft, like, the upgraded, Mizu SNS has some nice sharpness on it. Nice chunk of white, and cause of Handicraft, a nice chunk of purple too. What are you gonna hunt next? Actually, my plan was to make that the last hunt for the day. Like, and just kinda chill out for a bit. Chill out and yap for a bit. Because, I don't know. I'm not one of those people that streams for massively. Like, my streams are usually in the 2 to 3 hour mark. Well, more 2 to 2.5 hour mark, if I'm honest. So, yeah. That's not the save button. Yeah, so just gonna relax and have a bit of a gap for a bit. Like 20 minutes-ish or so. Because that's sort of how I usually do do things stream-wise. I just sort of play the game for like um 2ish hours or something like that. Like one and a quarter, like 2 hours ish, and then just gap for like 20 minutes to half hour or so. Just to wind down a bit. Not really too much of an endurance stream, but that's alright. I think along with people that just can't stream for massively, like look at someone like Gwyn Penrose, for example. Like he don't stream for massively long if you really look at it, but well, my brain has a weird thing that when it hits 10 PM for me, like my body goes into it just wants to relax mode. We're gonna might want to go on to I've saved the game, so but we're going to go on like what's it chill hunt for beach house to the desert area. Ooh. I suppose most things for me is a chill hunt. Like, how do I put it? I don't know if it's like cause I've been playing Monster Hunter for like at least a decade at this point, but I find it very chill to just stream Monster Hunter. Like, I don't know why. Part of me thinks it's could be causing me muscle memory. That's all. Anyway, if we're gonna might as well jump over to that's in. And there we go. Yeah, like I have a different scene specifically for chatting and stuff, but for just the post game cool down chat. Cause I am smart like that and I somewhat plan this shit out. Emphasis on somewhat. Yeah. Chill hunt, honestly, goddamn everything. Undertale's vibes with the background. I did it myself actually, like yeah. I don't remember how far back I made this, like a good couple of months. I think I made this background sometime in the summer. Really gotta make some more backgrounds, if I'm honest. I also need to find more music to stick in the Zatsu playlist. Yeah, because it's an actual playlist that sort of randomly plays music from it. As by the little Madubri above me spirit noggin. Cause yeah, like I use a different streaming software than most people. Like most people typically use stuff like OBS and that, or hell, some people might even use Streamlabs desktop. Not entirely sure why, like, unless you're a beginner and sort of want to know the ropes of it, which, yeah, Streamlabs desktop can help you get the grips of it, because you literally have all the sources you would ever need, well, you would need there, but it's a bit of a resource hog on your PC. Yeah, that's how I started, what I used when I first started streaming. Then I transitioned over to OBS. You can still use like the Streamlabs alert stuff and that sort of thing, but you have to go into their website, configure it and that sort of thing, and then grab the URL, plop it into a web source. Wait, did you see Monster Hunter Wild's performance? Honestly, in terms of like graphical performance or something like that, or like frame rate and something like that, worst optimized game I ever saw, to be honest. Fair enough. Damn. Well, considering the size of a fucking game, like, I'm hardly surprised by that. Like, as long as it doesn't have Sonic Frontiers levels of pop-in, you're fine. Or some other games level of frame drops, you should be good. Like, I feel like if you play it on PS5 or something like that, like on console, you should be fine, cause they might not have that issue too much, but PC, yeah, I can definitely see some, well, the optimization issues coming into play there, and that sort of thing. Dual Steam Portable got 12 frames with lowest settings possible. Yikes. That's a definite yikes. But it's possible they haven't finished optimizing it. You know what I mean? Like, the demo isn't always indicative of the final product. So, that's sometimes why they put out demos to get people's opinions and information and data and all that crap, so they can go and so they can then use the last couple of months of development to go away and fix those issues. That's why you have stuff like open betas and stuff, so that the developers can get a feel what the public consensus on their game is, any problems that arise and that sort of thing, and if they need to, well, and how they could go about addressing it. Like, that's why you see with a lot of live service games that they do quite often do bug fixes, cause by the way, do you know Team Darkside? Yeah, I very much know of them. Like, they're the group that can break Monster Hunter games in a way that makes the Hedgehog Space program in Sonic Frontiers in the Sonic Frontiers speedrunning community look like a drop in the ocean. Yeah, I'm aware of what Team Darkside can do. Like, by the premiere, we can break Monster Hunter over our damn knee without even trying, people. And the gameplay skill they have is unreal. I think they might be cheating. Honestly, might seem like it's no different to like the Destiny community and saying that about a content creator called Esoteric, like who can do some of the hardest content in Destiny 2 solo without dying a single time. Like, you always have those people in like most game communities that just are able to clear the hardest stuff without even trying, or do the most ridiculous stuff. Like, if you have the game knowledge, you can. Well, if you have that degree of game knowledge, you can break a game 8 ways from Sunday. Like, even I've found like even I've picked up little bits of gameplay knowledge like here and there that sort of allows me to do things that might look at a glance be like, make you wonder how the fuck did he even do that? I can think of one example off the top of my head that, like, where I sort of figured out something and, well, and I can use it to sort of do some interesting things in certain games. Like, I have a term that I throw around with particular games, especially if you like watch some of my PSL2 NGS streams, or especially my Sonic Frontiers streams that I did a while ago. Like, I sometimes in those throw around a term I call mountain goating, right? Basically, you know how mountain goats have this like ability that just where they can just go fuck gravity and just scale the side of a mountain in about 5 seconds flat in the most ridiculous looking way possible? Yeah, mountain goating is basically that, but in video game form. Like, there's a little something I'm probably not the only one to sort of do stuff like that, but I just call it mountain goating because, yeah. Oh, okay. So I didn't realize that was a bit loud. Yeah. Sometimes you do just pick up gameplay skills here and there. That was perfect. Yeah. Audio is always one of those things that your average VTuber's probably gonna have troubles with here and there. Yeah. Do pick up, well, some gameplay skills from seeing other people do stuff, like, actually, let's use Sonic Frontiers as an example, because, the term I mentioned a second ago, Hedgehog Space Program, that's something I kind of picked up from watching videos about speedrunning for Sonic Frontiers. Like, it's, as the name suggests, it's a weird little bit of movement tech, but basically allows you to get, well, to allow you to get some serious height. hell, there are multiple instances throughout my Sonic Frontiers playthrough where I just do it accidentally. Like, sometimes I do it intentionally, other times I do it accidentally. And there's one gameplay skill I've sort of developed over many a year, in many different games actually, called mountain goating. It's fairly self-explanatory. It's basically me looking at a sheer cliff and abusing the collision on some of it to just quickly hop and jump my way up a cliff or a mountain or something. I don't need to do it in Sonic Frontiers as much, cause obviously you have the Hedgehog Space Program stuff. And in some instances, Sonic can literally just run up a wall anyways. Like, run up the side of a cliff anyway, so... I saw some Sonic Frontiers clips and it looks cool. Oh yeah, like... I definitely recommend giving Sonic Frontiers a shot. If anything, for the rating, cause I feel like it's probably one of the best written Sonic games we've had in quite a while. And but if you're not really too much of a fan of the open zone sort of gameplay stuff, do have the Sonic Generations remaster that came out roughly about this time last month. Sonic X Shadow Generations, which remasters Sonic Generation, which was the 20th anniversary Sonic game that released back in 2011. I feel old. As well as a new part of it called Shadow Generations, which is literally Sonic Generations but Shadow. And they actually include a level from, well, and one of these sort of levels from Shadow Frontiers, not Shadow Generations. One of the Sonic games that I always wanted to try was Sonic Colors, but I never did. Ah. Yeah. I played the DS version of that. Like... But I kind of skipped out on Generations Ultimate, cause... I know the level design in the console version of Colors is a bit hit or miss, and plus I remember hearing that Sonic Colors Ultimate, like, for a remaster it's a bit of a buggy mess, or used to be. It's now less of a buggy mess. But yeah, I love the shit out of Sonic Colors DS though, like, straight up. But yeah, again, on terms of like remasters, Sonic X Shadow Generations is a good one to go for, cause, well, console version of Sonic Generations is a pound. Well, as a friend who was trying to convince me that those games are harder than Monster Hunter games. Hmm. Honestly, I don't really see that connection, because couple of reasons. One, like, how do I put it? like, they do have some similarities, like how with the large monsters, do have some similarities to like Dark Souls bosses, where like, it's more about you picking up on like the attack patterns and how to work around those. But I don't know. I feel like it's hard to compare those games in terms of difficulty. I could say that Sekiro is hard, but once you get the parry thing, it becomes very straightforward. Yeah, like, same thing on Monster Hunter. Once you get particular monsters' attack patterns down, like, you might end up dodging them instinctively. Like, that's why I feel like my Monster Hunter streams are pretty chill, cause my I have a fair bit of muscle memory built up over the years. Like, I think my brain instinctively knows how to, like, dodge roll through certain things. Like, I think I've... Oh, and I think my brain might have unconsciously figured out, like, how many iframes are in your typical dodge roll in a Monster Hunter game. I think. I don't know. Once you get something down to, like, muscle memory, it doesn't really become too much of an issue. Like, again, going back to Sonic games, like, taking Sonic X Shadow Generations as a good example of it, like, as you learn, like, as you play the same level over and over, you'll naturally pick up on what you need to do at, like, what point and that sort of thing. Like, the three of them have something in common. Like, the game's designed around the fact that you... well... you learning how to do particular things better and better, efficiently. In Dark Souls, maybe it's a case of you can go... well, maybe you have trouble with boss, but as you throw yourself at it more and more, you'll make a little bit more progress each time, because you'll be like, okay, I know now I got hit by this attack, how do I dodge it? And then you try a ton of different things to try and dodge it, till you find one that sort of works for you. And you keep going. And as you get further and further, that initial first attack that you learned how to dodge, you will find that you find being able to dodge that even more, to the point where you can do it without thinking. Like, that's how learning through experience works. Like, yep, that's true. Like, you sometimes learn better by just doing, rather than being told or something like that. I say experience is the best teacher. Honestly, I ain't fucking arguing that. Like, they were onto something. Like, And hell, even watching others' gameplay of a particular thing, you end up picking stuff up. Like, I'm using Sonic games a lot as an example here, but as sort of best example, but they're good examples to talk about when it comes to that sort of thing. Like, there was another speedrunning trick I picked up from watching, like, videos of it on YouTube. The rail launch. Basically, if you, like, jump as you're going upwards on a rail, and it's like curves, if you jump at the right time, you can just fling yourself into the air. And, well, I picked that up through, it's a bit too quiet now. There we go. Now I can hear a little bit. But, yeah, you sort of, you can learn stuff from your own experience, or, like, sometimes you learn stuff from the experience of others. Yeah, you can learn a lot from speedrunners. Yeah. Again, going back to the Hedgehog Space Program thing, that's another thing I picked up from watching speedrunners and that. Trying to think of a good example of a game that you can learn a hell of a lot of stuff from like watching videos about like how they speedrun it or something like that. And one that comes to my head is like Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel, because when that came out, I ended up already knowing some of the more complicated bits, cause I remember at SGDQ, like, or was it ADG? I know it was like one of the Games Done Quick events. They did a run of the original Crash Team Racing, and I knew a lot of the sort of complicated lingo from that, as like they actually explained some of the speedrunner terms and that sort of thing in those things. That game was way more complicated than it looks. Oh yeah, like, definitely. But I picked up on bits here and there. Like, I still can't keep Blue Fire for an entire lap, but some tracks I can get close. Probably not so much now. I haven't played the game in like little years at this point. But but yeah, it's amazing what you pick up just by watching videos of other people doing stuff. It's better than Mario Kart. But is it better than Mario Kart? That's a question. Yes and no. Like, I feel like it's got a higher skill ceiling than Mario Kart. So if you want a kart racer that has a higher skill ceiling, go for it. But honestly, that's not what a lot of people are looking in a kart racer. Like, kart races are more party games, but more haha silly funny party game type deals, just by very nature of them. Really. Like, how many streamers and that do you see that just play Mario Kart with a bunch of their mates and have a grand old time? Like, big Mario Kart collabs just, sometimes are just a bunch of people hanging out. Unless it's a tournament, unless it's like a tournament or something, then all friendships are off. Every man, woman, and whatever else that VTuber is for themselves. You have to pay Nintendo Online to play Rise multiplayer. I think so. I think the only game that I have on Switch that I don't is Warframe. Like, at least to my knowledge. But I think Warframe is literally one of the only exceptions of, to that rule. Because if I'm honest, Nintendo Online is no different to like Xbox Live or PSN. And both services do offer more than just allowing you to play games online. Like, for example, Nintendo Online, you have the NES, SNES, and Game Boy bits for the basic version of it. And for the more expensive version, you got the Game Boy Advance, Nintendo 64, and Sega Genesis stuff. Speaking of the Genesis stuff, didn't they add more stuff? A couple new games to that recently. Yeah, one thing with the Game Boy Advance side of that, like, you have the Sega Genesis stuff on there. Why have they not, like, put the Sonic Advance games on the GBA side of it? I only have a basic version, so I don't have access to that, but you would think it would be it's a bit of a missed opportunity in that one. And the subscriptions, after all your using the servers of a game you bought, not the platform itself. Yeah, should be optional. Honestly, it's just is what it is. Like, and the subscriptions after all you're using the service of a game you bought, not the platform itself, should be optional. But honestly, I think it's actually a more elegant solution to, like, the old virtual console, if I'm honest. Because you're already paying for, being able to play games online. I don't like to start these console fights, but this is why pieces better. Once you bought the game, that's it. Fair enough in that case. Like, fair enough on that one. Like, some people do just prefer to have it so, okay, I bought the game once, it's mine forever till I get rid of it. That's how it should be. But not all games are like that. Like, free-to-play games are often live service games. Because, well, that's how they make their money off of it. Some of it, with certain business practices, I do take issue with some of it. Like, I know it's a bit of a can of worms, but microtransactions in full price games. Like, it's a bit of a loaded question, if I'm honest. Cause what comes under microtransactions in that instance? Like, if it's like DLC, okay, what constitutes DLC? Like stuff like skins of that, or like full-on new bits of content or something like that? It's, in this day and age, the line's a bit more blurred than it used to be. If it's something like, there's, the game includes a free battle pass and it's like, well, battle pass and it has like, something like, oh, you can buy extra tiers on it, or to advance yourself through tiers or something like that. That sort of thing shouldn't really be in it. I'm not opposed to battle passes, but it shouldn't really affect gameplay. Hell, I think one of the games, well, full price games that does a sort of, well, paid battle pass system the best, one that is, of all things, Lego 2K Drive, right? Purely because of the fact that once you buy like the battle pass for that particular for a particular season sort of thing, you have that battle pass permanently, and you can work through it at your own pace. We should thank Fortnite for that they introduced that mechanic. Yeah. But, like I said, Lego 2K Drives one. I can't find a game without battle pass. Yeah, sometimes it's not a case of finding a game that doesn't have it. It's more finding a game that sort of handles it in an agreeable way. Again, Lego 2K Drive. Yeah, it was a full price game, but it's sort of battle pass system. You can pay for any of the seasons of it, or the whole sort of year's worth of content on it, and you have that permanently. There's no them losing out or anything of that nature. You just have it, which I think is the best way to do it. Like, Legend Montana Wilds has it too. Nah, I don't think it will. Like I said, they tried kind of doing a live service thing with World. It didn't really work out. Cause Monster Hunter was never designed to be a live service anything. That's just not what it is. So I don't think we're in any. Oh, I don't think we need to worry about Monster Hunter Worlds having a battle pass. Like, I think that's one of the games that's less likely to have a battle pass. Hell, like, some MMOs don't even have battle passes. That I know of. Like, I know I haven't played, like, massively far into Final Fantasy IV. Like, I've only, like, beaten a Realm Reborn. And that's about it. And that's just on and that's either the trial thing. Battle Pass is not for MMOs. Exactly, like, different styles of monetization suit different styles of game. Like, you see battle pass type thing quite a bit in, like, gacha games and that. More mobile gacha games, like, compared, rather than stuff like Genshin or, hell, even Arknights, that don't have, a battle pass system. But I know a lot of other mobile games have something of that nature. Something has a free track and a paid track or two or something like that. But honestly, that's more for like competitive multiplayer sort of live service games. Like trying to think of examples off the top of my head, like stuff like Apex on that? Never played Apex because honestly I'm not really into competitive shooters like that. The only real examples are like Splatoon, because it's Splatoon. TF2, because no one takes TF2 seriously. That's part of the fun of it. And I guess you could say Destiny 2, but PvP is such a small part of Destiny 2. When you say gacha games, do you mean those games with ungodly low rates and high gambling addiction? Oh yeah, straight up. Like, some of them do have that sort of battle pass type thing. But some of those tend to be not as greedy as you think. Like, some of them just give out free shit, like, quite often. There was one way back when. Right? Have you heard of a name Jagalia Lost? Like, this was one of Nintendo's early stabs at a mobile game. Well, at the mobile gaming. Right. Sit down, because you're gonna have a bloody history lesson. Because, right, Jagalia Lost was a mobile game from Nintendo in associating with Cygames. If you don't know who Cygames are, Grand Blue Fantasy. They're the guys behind that. So they teamed up, made this little mobile game called Jagalia Lost. And it is one of the most beloved mobile games that ever existed. And I don't think I'm really exaggerating there. Like, it really was. And honestly, there were times where it would be super generous. How do I put it? There was a point more towards the end of its life cycle, cause it has since been shut down. There was a point like rather late on in the cycle. You had a starting gacha, right? You could pull 100 times from a unique pool, which included the Gala variants of characters, which are sort of rather powerful variants characters. And you could re-roll it infinitely. That's only the part of it. As you got a free pull for free temple every day for about 2 weeks. On top of that. And yeah, they did also quite often just pop in some of the free currency in the mail every so often. So yeah, it was a really damn generous game. And when Summer Clubs rocked around, they gave you free temples there as well. And yeah, it was quite a beloved little mobile game. Not just because of how generous it was, like, towards the end of its life cycle, like, in towards the more beginning of its life cycle, it was a really damn solid mobile game. So it captured the hearts of... Why did I shut it down? Those games are not expensive to maintain because of the money it makes. Honestly, see, sometimes those sort of mobile games shut down once they've told their story. Cause, well, a lot of those sort of mobile games have a sort of main story. And Jugalia kind of told theirs. So they didn't feel the need to sort of continue or something like that. Something happened to another... Well, same thing happened to another mobile game that I played. World Flipper. That told its main story and that sort of thing, and then it shut down. Ironically, Cygames was also involved in that one, so part of me wonders if, like, they had some bearing on the decision to shut them down, but I don't particularly want to open that another can of worms there. But yeah, I just kind of told the story they wanted to there and decided, yeah, let's end things on a high note type deal. Not all of them can go on forever. Like, just like the saying goes, something good doesn't always last forever. And Jugali Lost is a prime example of it. It was really damn good, but it didn't last forever. Same with, like, other live service games. Well, mobile games, live service games. They'll probably shut down eventually. Like, Genshin might go potentially a similar route where that gets shut down once it's told its story. Well, I think we're a fair few years off that happening. But something tells me that there's going to be a fair bit more story, even after there's Naya. All gacha games is fake grand old man. This game is even worse than Genshin. Oh yeah, some literally just exist to print money. Like, straight up. Some literally don't give a shit. They are just there to make money at the end of the day, because they are a business. That's one thing you do have to remember about some of it. Like, games companies are still... It's still a business, they still have to make money. Like, they still have to try and make more money than they did the previous year. That's just how it is. Like, let's say you run a business and, you made, like, 20,000 quid, or 20,000 pounds one year. Wouldn't you want to, like, see if you can push it a bit more and make a bit more money? Like, something like that? I don't think that's entirely how it works in, like, the massive business side of it, but you can see my point. Like, some companies do want to sort of... Most companies aren't really, happy just making the same amount of... Fucking course I will. Exactly. Like, that's how big game companies see it. Like, they want to break their records from the previous year. Like, they want to strive to improve that number. However, sometimes they are willing to go to some not so great lengths to achieve it. That can cause companies to do some crazy shit. Like, or do some less than stellar things. You know what I mean? But, how do I put it? Game industry is a bit of a weird one, cause it's definitely very commerce driven. Like, and very product driven. But, like, I prefer the game have a monthly subscription instead of being paid to win. Exactly, like, honestly, why do you think most MMOs have monthly subscriptions? Or microtransactions for cosmetics? But purely for cosmetics? Like, how do I put it? How do you think Final Fantasy XIV keeps up with the crazy amount of, well, crazy impressive content they put out? And that. the monthly subscription from, like, some parts of it. There's still a fat free trial on that, but once you start being on the monthly subscription, you can't go back to the free trial. Well, mostly because of a weird way it works, you kind of have to pay for, like, the latest expansions and that sort of thing. And then you got monthly subscription on top of that. Well, it's not even really a monthly subscription. Like, you sort of... actually, I think the way they do it is actually a bit more clever than a monthly subscription. Because it kind of does account for, like, times where you just want to stop playing the game for a while. As you just buy, like, the subscription for the days, like, or for the amount of time you are gonna play it for. I know it's kind of confusing to explain that particular example, but you get my gist. Like, I need that sort of constant income to, well, or Final Fantasy 14. I'm more speaking about Final Fantasy 14, cause, like, I'm more aware of how their business model works. Well, I think that is just a flat-out monthly subscription. With it. Like, at the end of the day, it's more a case of, they need to think of what business strategy, well, is the best way forward for a particular game. Like, a single player game, yeah, it's better for it to just be a full price game and it being done and dusted, unless you want to stick DLC in it. A live service game, that seems to work better as a free to play game. With maybe paid expansions or microtransactions and that sort of thing. And honestly, if you're gonna do microtransactions for stuff other than cosmetics, it's honestly better to do that as a sort of... I wouldn't... So the deal with WoW is that you can buy it. Is that you can... But your subscription with the game money, so it's kind of free. Yes and no? Because you're still paying for, like, it with, like... How do I put it? Honestly, I don't know really how to put it. Like, it's that confusing of a subject. But even I get confused. Then again, that ain't exactly hard. Like, you overwhelm my little autism ADHD riddled little brain with enough info, like, even I'll get really damn confused. That's why I'm having trouble explaining this. Like, it's a confusing mess of, like, business and commercial bullshittery that is probably better left to professionals. Yeah, there are people that can explain this sort of thing way better than I can. Honest. Yeah. I suppose that's just how it is. Like, certain things just work certain, like, are better for certain types of games. Yeah. The games industry is nothing like it was back in those early days. Back in the day, and I wish I could speak Japanese or Chinese. I wish I could speak Japanese. Because, I have some moots on Twitter that, like, do speak Japanese. And it would be nice to know what they're saying without having to... Those people have some games exclusive only to them. Oh yeah, like, I think I mentioned it earlier, but, with Monster Hunter, there are a couple of games that were Japanese exclusive. The portable games, like ones on PSP and PS Vita, those were exclusive to Japan. Monster Hunter 4 was actually exclusive to Japan, and instead they waited till, and instead they gave us Full Ultimate instead. Don't forget Monster Hunter Frontiers. Huh, that was Japan exclusive then? Okay, I didn't know that one. Learn something new every day. Yeah. Hell, it's not even Japan that has, like, stuff exclusive to them. There's been stuff that have been exclusive to, like, Japan and Europe, stuff that have been exclusive to Japan and the Americas, and that sort of thing. Like, there was actually a Mario game that was exclusive to Japan and America. Mario Super Sluggers. Like, cause, let's be honest, baseball ain't really a thing over here in Europe. Yeah, it was a monthly subscription MMO only in Japan until 2019. What happened with that anyway? Did it shut down? Or did it get, like, localized and brought to the West or something like that? I don't really know the whole dealio with Frontiers, well, Monster Hunter Frontiers if I'm honest. Sonic Frontiers, I could tell you chapter and verse about that game if I'm... But not Monster Hunter Frontiers. Then again, there are a lot of games I could tell you chapter and verse on. Well, sometimes I feel like I need to explain some of my lingo. Got an English patch by the community. Fair enough. Like, I know some of and some private servers. I know some Japanese exclusive games have gotten, like, fan translations on that one. I know some of the old Japanese only Goemon games got some fan translations, like, quite a few years back. I don't know. Yeah. Baseball inspired by cricket? Don't know. Like, that's going into sports territory, and I know fuck all about sports. Like, I'm British, and I barely know about cricket. Like, I could barely tell you, like, what even goes on in cricket. I know a thing or two about football. British football or American football? Like, only thing I would, well, I know Champions League football. Okay, English football. Got it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know much about that other than the sort of baseline stuff. Like, I know what a corner is, I know what a free kick is, I know what a penalty is. Like, that's about as far as my knowledge on football really goes. Let's see. But that and the fact that, like, big football just annoys the crap out of me, cause, like, you got those pillars that'll just fake being injured just to get someone else sent off the thing. You have two of the best teams in football history. Three of them were counting Arsenal. I'm more of a Manchester United person myself, if I'm honest. Like, me and my dad's always supported that team. For me especially, for specific reasons that I can't really get into. Yeah. But yeah, football really isn't my forte. Then again, I know even less about rugby. At least rugby is, like, better to watch because you don't have people just... I support Real Madrid. Okay. God, I still remember, like, way back when. I'm gonna make you guys feel old now. Back when David Beckham joined Real Madrid. Anyone remember that? Fuck, I feel old. And I'm still young. I'm still considered to be rather young. But yeah, I don't really know much about sports. Like, in general. I don't know. Proper football shoes were weird to walk in. Who's Sportmen were all about hunting monsters. Yep, we'd much prefer to play sports on a Switches or PS5s and our Xbox Series X's than actually go on a football pitch. That being said, like, it's never a bad idea to, like, touch grass, even if you even if you just go for a walk around your local area. Like, fresh air is never a bad idea. And extra, like, 20 minutes of exercise, like, is never a bad idea either. I know. I think people, like, have it in their head that exercise has to be, like, sports or going to the gym or something, or jogging and that sort of thing. It is, but technically just going for a walk around somewhere is sports. Touch grass, one of my friends hate this insult. Fair enough. like, it can be used as an insult, but but yeah. Well, if you want to say like something like that, just say to him like nothing wrong with going outside for a bit or going and getting some fresh air. Fresh air does you a world of good sometimes. Sometimes it can help you sit through your thoughts. Unless you're like me who just stews on shit. But I stew on shit all the time. And yeah, it can clear your head, and if you're feeling a bit under the weather, a rep day, an hour decided by this Finch. I'm gonna say fresh or French. Cause if you accidentally bought yourself a French keyboard, how the fuck? Oh, you did buy a French keyboard. Okay. Yeah, I can see how that can be an issue if you don't speak French. Like, if you can't speak French, I'm not sure how a French keyboard, like, would be of massive use. Unless you are actually French, then makes perfect sense. Still adapting to the keys. They probably have different. Oh, do they have different layout? They don't. Okay, so are French keyboards not QWERTY ones then? QWERTY ones. Because I know some places don't always like those style of keyboards. So I know. Starting to get a bit knackered. WSD are the USD for me. Oh no. Oh. It doesn't sound too bad. That just means your Q's right a bit and your Z's off a bit. Still confusing, but yeah, used to that thing. Like, I'm getting a bit tired, so head to. This was a W stream. Oh, thank you for coming. I was actually thinking of signing off myself because I'm getting a bit knackered. I don't usually stream for 3 hours, but this actually is the second time this week I've streamed for 3 hours. I'm getting better at yapping. Thanks for dropping by the stream, Uni. I'm gonna start wrapping up myself. So, as always, thank you all for popping into stream and hanging out with me for a couple of hours today. Doesn't matter if you've been working, chatting, or podding. You all are awesome. So, popping in and hanging out. Hope you all stay safe and have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, night. Good night, and I will see you Friday for some Pokemon. Yeah, we're continuing our VTuber / content creator mon adventure. And we have a date with a giant fucking worm. Anywho, the event.